Dogbe. I am constantly amazed and inspired by Abigail's passion for open source, but more importantly for the people involved. When it came to time to choose my keynote speakers, Abigail was at the top of my list. I want to share some of her activities and achievements. She is an open source researcher, community builder, and programs manager from Ghana who loves the power that open source can put in people's hands. She's currently in her third year of graduate school conducting research as part of the University of Cincinnati School of IT program. She is a member and contributor within the African Python and Django software communities. She envisions a world where young people are consistently empowered with open source skills to address challenges in their communities while building practical, real-world experience. Currently, she's actively involved with the Python Software Foundation's Education and Outreach Workgroup and is developing a toolkit with resources to help Python communities and conference organizers navigate their work more effectively. She has received several awards, including the inaugural Outstanding PyLady Award. When she's not contributing to open source, she is inspiring the next generation of women in STEM at the Mesrenyame and Friends, a Girls in STEM initiative, because she believes that women, technology, and education need to come together to shape a stronger future. I am honored to call her my friend and to enable her to share her passions with you today. Please welcome Abigail to the stage.
Good morning, Pyohio. Yeah, I'm really excited to be here. Thank you once again to the organizers for inviting me to share. I'm always excited to share. So before I start anything, I just want to share a fun fact. So I'm Ghanaian, and I have 4 names. So Kadni did introduce me and had like 3 names out there, but I'm also called Abna because I was born on a Tuesday. I'm a female born on a Tuesday. And so, in case you need a Ghanaian name, just let me know, reach out to me, just let me know the day you were born, and you could have a Ghanaian name. So, yeah. So, yeah, as Katni mentioned earlier, I'm currently a student at the University of Cincinnati, and I've been in Ohio in the last 3 years. It's been amazing so far. But before I moved here, my journey to contributing to open source started back home in Ghana, and specifically in 2017. So when I was putting this keynote together, I had a deep reflection on my journey, and I thought to share. I hope I'm able to summarize it as much as I can. So in 2017, I got a chance to attend Django Girls, and it was my first time learning Python, even though I had heard about Python before. And this event changed my life in multiple ways. I left this event really thinking, wow, like I think I love Python, right? And after like the event though, one of the mentors encouraged me to help mentor other girls at the next event. And so I said yes. I attended the next event, and I attended the next and the next and the next and the next. I didn't stop there. So that was in the year 2017. And then the next year, I was invited to also lead the PyLadies Ghana community, and I took that. And I had no idea what community building was. There were no resources to guide me. If they existed, I had no idea. But that journey taught me a lot. It helped me find purpose, and I can even still keep contributing to open source, but through research. And so that same year in 2018, I was also invited to help co-organize PyCon Africa. So if you didn't really know, Africa is home to 1.4 billion people in different countries. And it has, or is the second largest population in the world. And there are people in Africa who speak multiple languages. I speak about 4 languages fluently. And open source, especially through the Python software community, is really uniting us. is empowering us. So at the first PyCon Africa in 2019, we had people come together from different parts of Africa and even different parts of the world as well to support this first Pan-African event. And it really went so well. Imagine being an organizer of an event where, I mean, people are coming from these like different parts of Africa. They love or they are familiar with different kinds of food. There are parts of Africa that love spices. Some other parts do not like spices. And as like an organizer, you definitely want people to come around and feel comfortable like at your event and making sure that the conference as well is very successful. That really taught me a lot. And seeing how much people were learning and doing different things with Python even made it better. And PyCon Africa is still like running this year as well as it's running and it's happening in South Africa. So I invite you to attend if you can. But my journey through community building has taught me a lot, including how much communities shape the lives of different people. It hasn't really only been about just volunteering, but it's definitely been about building systems, finding opportunities, sharing them, guiding other people, and all of these come together to form stories or to form a part of the futures of all of these people who are using Python in different ways. And personally, like I mentioned earlier, it helped me find purpose. Like community building really helped me find purpose. I had no idea what I was doing at first, but it started to make sense at some point to the extent that I decided to pursue graduate school and I'm still doing research within open source. Now, for reflecting on beginning with the end in mind, I started reading this book written by Austin Kleon, Still Like an Artist, and I would reflect on some of the things that I would see in the book and see how much it means a lot and how much I could see some of the things that Austin shared when it comes to community building, specifically what I have seen and what I have helped to build. So Austin wrote like this book, and his main aim was to share 10 things nobody told you about like being creative. And for the first one, like Austin encourages people to steal like an artist. And his argument is that nothing is original and that every new idea is a mashup or is a remix of one or more previous ideas. And he encourages us to steal from anywhere that resonates with inspiration or fuels your imagination. When we take a look at the Python software community, we've had a whole lot of communities that have been extremely successful at what they do. You have communities like, of course, Pyohio. Pyohio is the longest running like regional Python software conference within the US. I think Pyohio deserves a huge round of applause. Yeah. We have EuroPython as well. And what does it look like for how we can learn about how or what has worked for these communities and how we can bring those lessons into what we do or into our local communities. I'm going to share a case study, which is my personal journey building PyLadies Ghana. So like I mentioned earlier, in 2017, the groundworks started. Of course, definitely when you think about what this means, it could differ from region to region and from country to country and on. So most definitely, this is something that would be for where your regional or your region or where you represent, right? That could look different. And in 2018, we had our launch and then had our first event. And gradually, we started spreading in different parts of Ghana. We held different events, majorly focusing on, Python in different aspects, in cybersecurity, in web development, data science, and many others. And not only did we think about equipping young ladies with Python, but we also decided to think about what other soft skills that people could have. And so we'd host sessions like, how to give a conference talk, how to prepare your talk, how to ace a technical interview, all of these other sessions. They came together to help build a community and help push us forward. And we're able to also build 6 different regions, 6 different chapters in different parts of Ghana. Now, throughout this journey, like I mentioned earlier, I started without any resources, without any toolkit to say, okay, this is how to go about what you do. But I was very much determined. And at first, I was doing a lot of the task by myself because I knew about the vision for PyLadies in general, and so I wanted things to align with what PyLadies Global was doing. And then gradually, I started recruiting more volunteers to become a part of the team. And so I'll delegate some tasks, but you sometimes have volunteers bailing out on you. Like, you'd wake up someday and then this volunteer isn't responding to your text. What do? You still have to continue. You still have to find a way around the tasks that you have ahead. And so at a point, delegation of tasks became scary for me. But it's a community, right? It's not a community that is for me. It is something that is for anyone and everyone who is interested in becoming a part of whatever thing that we were building. And so I definitely embrace the idea of opening up and having more people take on more tasks. So around this time, events were still running. We were still traveling to different parts of Ghana, teaching Python and making sure that people were benefiting from the resources that we would get. So in 2021, I would wake up and most of the job is done because now I felt that this team that I helped put together, people were really pulling their strings. They were making sure that they get the work done, and I really felt fulfilled. Now, thinking about my journey from how I started, the main goal wasn't to lead this forever, but it was to start something, bring others in, and then take a step back, right? And have other people also lead. And so in 2021, when I started feeling or seeing that, these other volunteers, they've got this, I thought it was time to step down. And so, thank you. And so in 2021, I stepped down as team lead of PyLadies Ghana, but it didn't mean that I stopped contributing. Till date, I still contribute to PyLadies Ghana as much as I can, even though there's the time zone difference and all of that. But I still contribute to PyLadies Ghana. It's just that I don't have the tag team lead. Now, for the next lesson that Austin taught, it was about don't wait to know who you are to get started. So he talks about the concept of fake it till you make it. I actually do not believe in fake it till till you make it. It's, it doesn't really feel original to me. I feel like it's best to have people see you the way you are, but also trying as much as you can to show up for yourself and then still try to make it. But I also think that fake it till you make it isn't bad. It's like it's really not bad. But sometimes we think about wanting to have everything figured out. We want to see everything before we take a step, especially even when it comes to like community building. I don't really know how this is going to end. Like, I think I need this, I need internet access, I probably need a MacBook, or I need this other resource, I mean, before I can host this program. But what happened to starting with baby steps, right? I think that figuring it all before doing can be harmful. Now, an example that I would share when it comes to my personal journey is that in 2021, I started sharing resources, different resources in open source, and just pretty much helping other people learn and then find all the opportunities that are available to them. And in 2022, I started a blog post where because I really wanted to share more and have like a wider reach. And so I would share a resource on different conferences that are happening worldwide. And it started as a blog post, and I realized that I had a lot of people view or read the blog post. And in the next year, so that would be in 2023, I had conference organizers reach out to me to say, oh, I just saw that you have this list on your blog post. Is it possible to add up the conferences that I am organizing? Because I would love my conference to be featured in your blog post. Like, at the time, I didn't even really know if what I was doing made sense. But the mindset of the fact that people were going to benefit from this resource kept me going. And for me, that was like the end goal, because people are going to benefit from this resource. So why not think about just sharing? And if you're someone who is particular about the way you put things out there, you would want it to look a certain way, right? And that was the issue for me. And thinking about how other conference organizers would reach out to say, hey, I think I want my conference to be featured here, and how other people would also comment on the social media posts that I'll make to say, oh, this resource is actually a great one, really gave me joy. And it made me feel like, yeah, this resource was actually a good one, and people needed this resource. And so I was thinking about how to make this better and how to have other people also join in. And I knew that it wasn't going to be sustainable just having like a blog post, because I didn't want to keep going back to make edits and then having other people miss out on the edits that I made. And so what I decided to do was to create a repository. And now we have a repository that is listing over 100 open source events happening globally. Last year, I organized a sprint for that particular repo. And it's growing bigger and bigger and bigger. We have close to 200 stars at the moment. And who would have thought? Throughout this journey, it just really felt like I just wanted to put resources out there, but I was still cautious of how the resource would look. But what would have happened if I hadn't started? Perhaps people wouldn't have benefited from it. It wouldn't have become like this successful. And so throughout this, it helps me believe that clarity comes from doing. Because I kept doing, because I kept showing up, because I had the end goal of the fact that I wanted people to benefit from this particular resource, this has gone on and on and on, and there are people who are interested in even making it better. Every now and then, I have people reaching out to say, I want to write a script that can help people put this on their calendar. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is the power of open source. And so I'm excited that I was able to put this out there, regardless of how I felt or how I wanted things to look like. And so you can think about this even for your personal journey and even for how you empower your local communities. Now, this next one, Austin says to write the book you want to read. And the way that he thought about it was to write what you like instead of what you know, because then you would definitely read something that you like, right? And so if you're thinking about also writing something where other people can benefit from, you think about what you would have also liked, like to read about, because there might be someone out there who would have also liked what you like, right? And so thinking about what this means for our community is to reflect on building the community that you would love to be a part of. And we are here as a community, right? They're definitely the folks who help make this happen. What if the tables turn? What if you are on the other side, like of the room, of just being a participant and not necessarily like a leader in this particular space or at this particular conference? Would you like to be a part of the community that you built, especially if you're a leader in this particular space, right? And you're building this community and all. Is this, if you take a step back and you are on the other side, right? Would you like to be a part of the community that you built? So this is a reflection for us. And if you're on the other side as well, would you like to lead the community that you joined? These are just some reflections for us to take home. Now, I wanted to definitely mention that your work is important. We all come together to help make community building a success. Community building isn't just for a group of people who are leading. It's for all of us. There might have been people who came here to ensure that the chairs in this space are well arranged. The work that they did really matters. So if you're a volunteer, you're a leader, you're a contributor, and even if you're just here listening, being here even matters, because we wouldn't be here without you being here as well. And so even being here and showing up for this conference even really matters. And just pretty much in the same way of thinking about how people's work is important, it's also the topic of diversity. It really matters in our community. When we think about diversity, it's not only in the people part of diversity, but then also in the skills. We have folks who are helping us capture this conference. Their work matters. Someone might not necessarily want to write Python code. They might just be interested in helping out with social media and just making sure that they're able to market your event or your meetup like out there. And their work matters, right? Because everything that you do, if you are able to also share out there, other people can hear about your event and they can join, they can support and all of that. And the community can keep growing. So as we think about what it looks like for our community, it's important that we reflect on how we can welcome all of these people with different skills. That might not necessarily look like the skills that we have. It's important that we embrace them, we bring them into the work that we do within our communities. In the same way, it's also important to think about how you can bring your skills to the Python Software Foundation. At the end of it, we in different parts of the world are doing all of this, but are helping to move the mission and the vision of the Python Software Foundation forward, right? And so as you think about all the things that you do within your local communities, right? What would it look like if you can bring your skills to the Python Software Foundation? There's the work groups, there's elections coming up. You should definitely participate, right? It's important to also cheer others on, nominate others for awards. You see other folks who are doing good job, outstanding work within the community. Help the PSF learn more about them. And so nominate them for awards and appreciate the work that they do. There are organizers here who have helped make Pyohio a success. When you meet them in the hallway, say thank you to them. Appreciate the work that they are doing and the work that they do. Also share your experiences because they help make the world a better place in the sense that other people can also learn from what you're doing and bring those experiences into their communities to help make their community building journey successful. What does it look like for the ripple effect when we think about how people or communities start, right? We start with meetups, hosting conferences. We help build skills, confidence, and there are a variety of contributions as well that come up. And then we help make people leaders, right? Or we help build some form of governance that help these people continue to manage and build these communities. And at the end of it, there's the aspect of the global impact, right? And so everything that you do within your local community really matters. And they all come together to make sure that the end goal is actually achieved. And so it's important that we think about the end when we are actually coming together as a community to learn and to share. Now, this is a cheap proverb that I would like to say. I hope that I'm able to say this well. It goes, "Wofro diapa ena ye piao." So chi is a local dialect in Ghana. And it literally translates to, it is when you climb a good tree that we push you, right? And so, like I mentioned earlier, as you walk down the hallway, as you meet other people, especially the conference organizers, please say thank you to them. Help them see that their work is important. And I know usually this comes like at the end of the event and all. But yeah, Katni, thank you. Katni and the rest of the team, thank you for all the work that you put in to help make sure that Pyohio is successful. Putting everything together, it's important that we begin with the end in mind. Beginning with the end in mind can be confusing sometimes. It can even cause us to not even take a step in the first place. But it's actually important because then you know that all the steps that you're taking now is leading to a bigger goal, right? And for us, is what we see at the Python software community. Beginning with the end in mind and clarity on the community we want to build, the values that we want to uphold, and then the opportunities we want to create. We build work that outlives us. We build work that, as Abigail reflects on her journey, that the fact that she was able to help start a PyLadies Ghana community, that she didn't even envision that she was going to be in Ohio at a point in time, right? But as it stands now, PyLadies Ghana is still thriving. It's still going on, even without Abigail being present, right, in Ghana. And so it's important that as we keep joining or being a part of different Python software communities, that we think about how we can all come together to help make everything that we build, especially looking at how we can keep moving the Python programming language forward. There's no Python without a community. This is me saying thank you in the languages that I can speak. Biebla, medase, akpe, and thanks.